Hola, mi amigas.
And amigos.
We are starting a brand new series where we are going to take you on a full guided tour of every pavilion in Walt Disney World. And we are starting at Epcot.
In Epcot.
No, we're doing Disney World. We're doing all of the different lands.
Oh, that's true.
This is a long series, so buckle up, my friends. Today we are starting in one of my favorite parks, in one of my favorite pavilions. We're here at Epcot in the Mexico Pavilion. I just got these ears for the occasion, and they have maracas in them. And we are excited. So we're gonna eat, drink, shop, ride rides, meet characters, do all the fun things. Let's go.
Right behind me is, of course, the pyramid. This is the main icon of the Mexico Pavilion. You can actually go inside. Off to the left of the pyramid, you'll find Choza de Margarita, La Cantina. Off to the right of the pyramid, you'll find La Hacienda de San Angel. And it's pretty easy to find your way around. Fun fact time, right at the top of the pyramid, you'll find the control booth for the Epcot Nighttime Spectacular. Another fun fact, this one I really love about the Mexico Pavilion. You'll notice the little like Aztec-y, I don't know what you want to call it, right at the base of the steps. That was not original to the pyramid. The reason that it's there now is because people kept climbing the steps and getting in trouble, and obviously it's a fall risk. So they ended up putting that there, and if you kind of knock on it a little bit, it's kind of hollow, so you can tell it wasn't permanently there always.
The Mexico Pavilion has probably the most restaurants of any of the World Showcase pavilions. You've got a quick service, a table service, signature dining, and 2 places to get drinks. Today we are starting off at the quick service. This is La Cantina de San Angel. This is basically just typical Mexican food. They've got tacos, guac, nachos, they got a bowl that looks super good, and of course margaritas. We're saving the margaritas for a little bit later, but we got the tacos de barbacoa, which comes with 2 tacos, rice, and beans. So plenty of food for us. We have some more food that, like I said, we're gonna eat later. I'm gonna try this taco. Kayla is a hungry girl. Oh, JK, it comes with 3 tacos. There was one hiding in there. Mainly it's just meat. They put salsa and a little bit of cilantro. The meat is very flavorful. The salsa is really good. It's not super spicy, but it does have a lot of flavor. I do like that. It is a corn tortilla, so be aware if you're not super crazy about corn tortillas. It does come with a corn tortilla. We've had the rice and beans before. Those are also very good.
A fun fact about us is that we've been learning Spanish on Duolingo, so we're gonna maybe practice a little bit today. You can tell el tacos es muy delicioso. So this is La Cantina de San Angel. The really cool thing about this restaurant is that it has kind of this like gazebo type deal that we're sitting under, and if you can time it right, you may even be able to get a seat here like right before fireworks. One thing to denote though is that because it is covered, unless you're like right up against the water, you're probably gonna have a little bit of an obstructed view, especially for those like higher up fireworks. But it's covered, it's shaded, it's honestly a great spot if you can time it right to get a table out here during fireworks.
Things that makes Epcot so special is the live entertainment in each country pavilion. This pavilion has 2 live entertainment offerings, Mariachi Cobre, which unfortunately they're not performing today. They do have Marimba de las Americas, which they're getting ready to come out and perform here in just a minute. It's basically, I mean, you can kind of guess what it is. They come and they play instruments and they sing, and it's a lot of fun. So we're just hanging out for a few minutes for that to start. But these are definitely not to miss if you can catch them. If you want to know when the shows are happening or when characters are coming out, all you have to do is go into the My Disney Experience app, go to the map, and then at the top you can actually filter by rides, entertainment, characters, all those things, and you'll be able to see the show times for that day. Something else that you're going to notice in each one of the country pavilions are that a lot of the cast members are actually from that country. These are the cultural representatives. Think of it almost like Disney's version of like a foreign exchange program. So a lot of times you are going to be able to have those interactions with people from that country, and it just gives a lot more like authenticity to each one of these country pavilions.
Right behind me is La Hacienda de San Angel. This is basically the big sister of San Angel Inn inside the actual pyramid. Although we haven't dined here before, it is definitely on our list. It is a signature dining experience, so it is going to be a little bit pricey. However, they do accept reservations. If you do plan to be in Epcot a little bit late, try to time your reservation right around fireworks time because you have a prime spot to view fireworks.
Another really unique souvenir option that a lot of people walk by is the ring carver. These are hand-carved rings right here in the park. You can have it, there's a bunch of different designs that you can do, and they range pretty widely in price. They start at about $20, and I saw some that were like $900. So you got everything in between. But if you want something that's, again, like a really cool, unique souvenir that's very easy to take home because it's very small, go check out these ring carvers.
Right next to the ring carver and kind of behind me a little bit, you'll find the pressed penny machine here in the Mexico Pavilion. They have very unique pennies that are very Coco themed, so you'll find like Dante, Miguel, and a bunch of other characters. But the nice thing about the pressed penny machines now is that you don't have to bring quarters, you don't have to bring pennies. Basically, you can either swipe your card or insert some cash, and you can get all of them or just a few of them.
When you first walk up to the Mexico Pavilion, you're gonna see this giant pyramid. You can actually go inside of the pyramid, and this is part of what's inside. This is Plaza de los Amigos. It is a indoor marketplace. It's supposed to be themed after like a nighttime Mexican marketplace where there's lots of shops, and this is where you're gonna find La Cava del Tequila, the San Angel Inn, Gran Fiesta Tour, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's perfect for a hot day. Do know that when it gets really hot or it's raining, it does get a little crowded in here, so prepare yourself, but it is air conditioned and it's dark, so it is great for a nice little break. Something else that's really cool that you may notice is the theming. The theming is very exquisite and very detailed, but there's actually like a purpose and theme even behind the theming. So outside, because Mexico's pretty big and Mexico covers a lot of different types of land, the outside is going to portray more of the desert regions of Mexico, whereas once you come inside, it's going to show more of those jungle type regions. So pay attention to the theming because it's kind of cool.
When you first step inside the pyramid, and before you go into Plaza de los Amigos, you kind of come into this almost museum environment room area thing. There's a lot happening in here, lots of different little cases going on, and this is all to basically honor Dia de los Muertos. So you'll find lots of things you can read up on, and obviously I would recommend looking at least a couple. Obviously, if you're only here for like one day, there's so much to see in Epcot, you maybe don't have to but you don't have to spend a bunch of time basically looking at all of them. But one of my favorite things is they have the ofrenda from Coco, and it's beautiful. So still literally right before you go into the Mercado area, you'll find this little screen thing, and this is where you can create like your own Dia de los Muertos character, and it'll save to your My Disney Experience app. How cool is that? So here I can choose my attire. So I can choose this hat. Oh, I like the hair. Ooh, now I can choose my eye. I have like kind of hazily green eyes. Yeah, there we go.
Them are some eyelashes, man.
I know. There we go. I like that one. And there I can choose my background. So you do have a time limit. I took too much time on the makeup, so now I'm stuck with that. Let's take some photos.
Will you put a hand up? You like a hand up? No?
I don't think it does that.
Smile, big cheese.
I think I'm standing too close. Oh, I'm way too close. How are you? Done. Pro tip, there's a little thing on the floor. I was standing too close. That's why it wasn't registering like my facial expressions. So just stand back a little ways when it comes time to take your pictures. That way it'll get your expressions basically. We made it inside the pyramid here in the Mexico Pavilion, and right behind me is the only attraction that you'll find in this pavilion. It's Gran Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros. And it's basically just a slow-moving boat ride in the dark, and you'll find Panchito, Jose, and Donald. Basically, the storyline of this attraction is Panchito and Jose are in search of Donald throughout all of Mexico. A fun fact about this attraction is that it technically, although it's got rethemed, it was an opening day attraction here at Epcot, and it was originally called El Rio del Tiempo. And it was the first attraction, basically in all of Walt Disney World, to get rethemed to add in IP or Disney characters, if you will. It became what we know today back in 2007, and it's been that ever since. It is a little bit busy today, so it is a long wait right now, but normally Gran Fiesta Tour behind me is usually a very minimal wait, if not even a walk-on on most days.
Looking for unique souvenirs to bring home, Epcot World Showcase is the place to go. All the country pavilions have such beautiful, different like souvenirs and knickknacks and all kinds of cool stuff. One of my favorites are the Alebrijes little figurines that they have here inside the Mexico Pavilion. They're hand painted by cast members every day. We actually just asked, he said it can take at least 6 hours or more, even to paint just the smallest ones. The details are so exquisite and beautiful, and every piece is unique. Every time I come, I see different pieces every single time. These are really cool souvenir, and it's really fun that you get to watch them actually make these daily. I also love that these kind of show a little bit of Mexican culture, and alebrije is essentially like a spirit animal. It's very important to Mexican culture, and I love that not only is the World Showcase just fun to go look at stuff and do the things and eat and drink and do all that stuff, but you can actually learn about these different cultures too, which I find very special. Like I said earlier, there are lots of different dining options here in the Mexico Pavilion. We are at the table service restaurant San Angel Inn, or San Angel Inn, depending on how you want to say it. The really cool thing about this restaurant is you are in the inside, like, indoor market, and you have the views of the volcano from Three Caballeros. Something that's really cool about this particular restaurant is it's actually themed off of a real live restaurant in Mexico City by the same name. Here, again, you're just gonna find authentic Mexican food. It's honestly delicious. Like, all of it is bangers every time. Like, it's so, so good. We just got our appetizers, so let's dig in and see what we got.
We started off with the sopa azteca, which is basically their soup. It's like a tortilla soup, and it's even gluten-free. It's traditional tortilla soup served with fried corn, tortilla strips, avocado, cheese, and chile pasilla. We also got I'm probably going to butcher how this is pronounced, totopas con queso, which is also gluten-free. It's corn tortillas with side of white cheddar, cheese, and salsa. I'm going to start off with this soup. We're probably idiots for getting soup when it's literally almost 90 degrees outside, but, you know, when in Mexico, it's very good. It's not a super hot soup, but it's still very, I don't mean this in a bad way. It's more of like a watery, like a water-based soup instead of like a cream-based soup. So it's very light. It's not a very heavy soup. You get a little bit of that creaminess from the avocado in it, but you also get a little bit of that crunch from the tortilla strips and the corn. I like it a lot. I like that it's not a million degrees. Next up is the queso. I remember this queso being absolutely amazing.
Muy delicioso.
Muy delicioso.
Muy. It's muy.
It's so basic, but it's so good. Honestly, it's some of the best queso around. Here at San Angel Inn, we also recommend the guacamole. It has like pumpkin seeds and all sorts of things served on top of it. It's not like served tableside, like it's not made tableside or anything like that, but it's very delicious. We just didn't get it this time because we wanted to try something new. And I think we're gonna also try to get the guacamole somewhere else.
Our main course is here, and we are sharing the enchiladas de pollo. It's corn tortillas filled with chipotle chicken covered with salsa verde, crema mexicana, cotija cheese, and crispy onion straws atop refried beans. And then you get some fried plantains that have also some cheese and stuff on them. I've had the plantains before, and they're like my favorite thing on the planet. They're so, 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 so good. I remember liking this enchilada, but I'm going to try it again. See if it's as good as I remember. Lots of cheese, lots of flavor. It's not super spicy, but there's just a little bit of like a kick flavor to it. Again, it does have corn tortillas, so that is something to know because they do try to do things a little more authentic. A lot of the stuff has corn tortillas. I'm sure that if you ask, they'd probably do it differently, but it's delicious. And it's a pretty big portion, so it's plenty to share between two people, especially if you're also getting appetizers. And of course, our meal is not complete without dessert, so we got the tres leches because I feel like that's like one of the most, I don't know, iconic things that you can get. It looks so good. It looks so, so, so good. Tres leches is basically kind of like a rice cake, and it's soaked in different kinds of milk. It has ice cream on top, and then it has almonds. There's a few different ways that I have seen tres leches served, but this looks so good. Wow. There's a spice in there, almost like a nutmeg type something. I think it might be some of the almonds, but oh my gosh, that's so good. If you are someone who doesn't like soggy textures, I know that sounds terrible. Because of the way that this is made, it does have a bit of a soggy texture, so if you're someone that doesn't like mushy things, this may not be for you. But if you are okay with that stuff, the flavors of this are incredible. It's so good. And it's very cold and refreshing on a hot day, so love. Epcot is known for a lot of eating and drinking, but it is really fun for kids. Honestly, Epcot is one of my favorite parks for little kids. One of the super special things you can do in each pavilion is called Kidcot. Basically, you start out and you get this cute little like passport Ziploc bag situation, and then at each country you have this little postcard that you can get with like a coloring activity and a sticker, and you basically can go around the world and collect these little things, and they're a fun little souvenir, little keepsake to take home. So if you have kiddos, definitely take a few minutes and stop off. Usually the Kidcot locations are also where you're going to find the pin boards, so if you're into pin trading, that's where you're going to find that. Another fun activity that's really fun for kids and kids at heart, we're not really going to show too much today. We do plan on doing a whole video about this later, but that is the DuckTales World Showcase Adventure. Essentially, if you download the Play Disney Parks app, this is an interactive game, as you will, that you can play all around World Showcase where fun, cool little things will happen. Did you even come to the Mexico Pavilion if you don't get a margarita? There are two places, well really there's a few, but there's two main places to get margaritas in the Mexico Pavilion. There's Choza de Margarita, which is the outside booth. They have a lot of like frozen margaritas. These are more like pre-mixed margaritas. And then we've got La Cava del Tequila, which we're going to visit in a minute. That is inside of the pyramid. Here at Choza, they also do have some like light snacks. The empanadas are so good. So if you want a little bit of a light bite and you don't want a full meal, this is a great place to stop.
A big pro tip when it comes to the pyramid, when you're on your way out, and honestly this can kind of be applied to anywhere in all of Disney World, is when you're coming around and looking around, don't forget to look behind you and look up, because especially right outside of the pyramid, you'll find so much immaculate detail, as you can see behind me. It's beautiful.
Holy cow, my tummy is so full.
I am stuffed to the brims. I think if you have enough time where you can stop and check out some of the food and drinks in this pavilion, it is definitely worth it. We did not eat nearly everything that this pavilion has to offer, or drink everything that this pavilion has to offer.
We really enjoyed La Cava. That was actually our first time going to La Cava. So they have, you can sit down, but there's very few tables. So if you come at a busy time, it might be a while. But they do have like a walk-up bar, so you can get to go drink some margaritas and whatever. So it was super loud, so we didn't really film a whole lot in there. But my drink was fantastic. The avocado margarita, I know it sounds weird, but it doesn't taste like an avocado. It's just really creamy. Yeah. It's delicious.
You can find that drink around other spots in this pavilion, but I ended up getting the corn old fashioned, and it was absolutely delicious. Definitely a sipping drink, not a drink to mess around with by any means. I think the big thing with La Cava is that if you do really, especially if you want to get a table, get there early. They open at 11, so I would honestly recommend getting there even a little bit before that.
We had a really great time showing you around the Mexico Pavilion. I hope you can see that there is a lot to do in this pavilion. So take your time.
We've been here like all day, and we didn't even do everything in this pavilion.
So take your time, check out those little details, and be on the lookout for our next pavilion tour, because we've got many more that we're excited to do. So that is all that we have for you guys today. Now go create your ever after.
One of my favorite things about what's the name of this?
Cantina de San Angel.
The names of the restaurants here are like, there's so many San Angel things, I get them all confused. So if you can keep them straight, let me know how you do it, because I can't freaking do it.
One of my absolute favorites are the Alebrije.
It's not a super hot. This is why we don't talk with food in our mouth. And actually, before you go into Plaza de los Amigos, you'll find this kind of... loud noises. I was recording that whole time. You're good.
Okay.
Right behind me is La Hacienda.
La Hacienda de San Angel.
La Hacienda de... the names get me. And you can also find that drink at other places around the Mexico Pavilion. I'm not that drunk, I promise. I can talk.